It's not a waste of time to take care of your life, is a thought that I had recently and is surprisingly something I still need to convince myself of as a 23-year-old. And so I wanted to go through my thought process on this and kind of explain the problem that I've been facing and kind of how I've been thinking about it recently. And so I noticed that I tend to fall behind on chores, things like doing the laundry, the dishes, cleaning my room, cooking for myself, and things like that. Because I feel like they are taking away time that I would rather be spending doing other activities that compound more. And what I mean by that is things like cooking and cleaning for yourself. Crazy. I know it's a very basic thing to do, but those are kind of maintenance and required to just keep the system of your life going and don't actually compound into bigger and bigger benefits, like something like maybe working out could be seen as doing, or like working on a skill or writing or, doing like a hobby, like dancing or rock climbing. And I think the reason why that dichotomy is important to me is because there's only so much time in a week. And so I find that when I am looking at my room that is like still livable but in pretty like in a state of disarray, or I deciding between do I want to spend some extra money and eat out or cook for myself, the trade-off is more in do I want to take the time to do something that once I do it it'll eventually fall apart again and I'll have to do it again. And so this does not really compound into a bigger like benefit over the long term. Or do I want to spend my time doing something like, going to a dance class because then I'm improving on a skill that sticks with me and then eventually I've become really good at dancing. And this is the outcome scales with how much time I spend doing it rather than with chores and things like that and errands. The outcomes and benefits from it feel less compounding. And so I think a tweet that I saw recently was a very big catalyst in changing my mind for this, just because of how they framed these types of activities. They said that a good day would have working on a skill, like spending time with friends, and quote unquote nurturing a naturally decaying system. And what they meant by nurturing a naturally decaying system is doing these things that will help keep these parts of your life that will fall apart without attention. So like your room is going to get messy just based on living in it. And so you have to clean it as you go on. Food for yourself, you will die if you do not have food. And like cooking for yourself is a very important way to maintain a bank account in the positive. So these types of things are naturally decaying systems just on the nature of them. And the sentence and like kind of the framing of it of being nurturing a naturally decaying system frames those acts as more of a service and care and nurture rather than a chore and like something that just will fill my time and make me upset that I'm taking so much time working on this thing. And it made me think that like if it was the same activity but for like a charity or for a community or for a friend, I would take my time to do it and I would feel fulfilled doing these things just because it is an act of service and an act of nurture. But for myself, it's like, I don't need to care and nurture for myself, but why not? I could nurture a naturally decaying system. And so that thought immediately made it a lot easier to convince myself that is a very great use of time to do those types of things. And the kind of second way that I was thinking about it is that these maintenance activities, even though they don't directly compound into getting really great at something or feeling very fulfilled, they do help you do those things in the other aspects of your life. And so it builds a more like smooth railroad system for your life, and helps you get from place A to place B, and makes it just easier to live your life if you have all of these decaying systems kind of sorted out to a good level. So for example, like cleaning your room and clearing your desk can make it easier to write because you have more space to work. And cooking for yourself will give you more energy and you have more, brain power to enjoy the next episode of the Marvel show you're watching or something. And so I kind of thought about it in the lens of a city maintaining a transit network that in and of itself doesn't like explore new places, but having a well maintained and running transit network allows people to go make new experiences and spend time with their friends and build rich, fulfilling lives on a well maintained baseline. And so I think I want to try thinking of these chores and these activities in that sense of building up a good baseline that makes it easier for me to do the fulfilling things in my life. And so going forward, I want to see if these two thoughts will be able to change in a appreciable way the amount of time I spend and the amount of like I procrastinate on doing my chores. Basically, I know a full adult who needs to convince himself to do his chores. I think is probably pretty common. So yeah, it's not a waste of time to take care of your life, and I am gonna see if I can make myself believe that. Thank you.